On today's highlights, Rivers Flood Committee distributes relief materials to Oyibo, Bukana local government areas. FG reaffirms commitment to ensure safer learning environment for Nigerian students. Plus, National Security Advisor, U.S. Congressman to discuss escalating threat of terrorism in Nigeria. Good afternoon and welcome to the Rstv News on 3 p.m. My name is Emily Tari Mberu. Now, do you love and care about Rivers State and her peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. For it is a task you and I must accomplish. Remember, you can watch Rstv News live on Facebook and YouTube at Rstv Online. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. And now details of the news. Rivers State Flood Prevention Management Committee distributes relief materials to Oyibo, Bukana local government areas. The committee distributed relief materials to residents of Oyibo and Bukana local government areas who were affected by recent flooding. The presentation ceremony, which took place at the Central Medical Stores in Port Harcourt, drew representatives from the two local government areas and key members of the committee. Speaking during the event, Rivers State Deputy Governor and Chairman of the Flood Prevention and Management Committee, Professor Ngozi Odu, reaffirmed the state government's commitment to providing timely assistance to communities affected by natural disasters. The Deputy Governor, who was represented by the Vice Chairman of the committee and Head of the Civil Service, Dr. Ingi Brown, said the relief materials were provided as part of a deliberate intervention strategy to cushion the effects of the flood on vulnerable households. Professor Odu emphasized the importance of proper documentation, accountability, and fair distribution, urging officials from the benefited local government to ensure that the items reach individuals and families most impacted by the disaster. Responding on behalf of her council, the representatives of Oyibo Local Government Chairman Honorable Michael Onyedima and the Chief of Staff of Bukana Local Government Area, Honorable Baribor Day, expressed appreciation to Governor Fubara and the Flood Committee for extending help to their communities at a critical time. The distribution exercise is part of a broader initiative by the Flood Prevention and Management Committee, which has been working across various local government areas to provide relief materials and implement preventive measures aimed at reducing the impact of future flooding incidents. A Kabuka community in Obaigbe-Mandoni local government area of Rivers State now has a new Community Development Committee executive led by Chief Cheta Aguma as chairman and Chukwuchiyam Abaje as secretary. Immediate past CDC chairman Surveyor Eso Onyere, who conducted the election, described the exercise as free, fair, and credible. Nduaje reports that chiefs, youth, elders in council, the elites, security agencies, and Egi clan joint CDC observed the election. This report.
Others who emerged victorious in the exercise are Mr. Apilo Kechuku, Vice Chairman, Mr. Dapa Gideon Uzoma, Assistant Secretary, and Naboth Igwe, Public Relations Officer. The rest are Mr. Odozi Woku, Financial Secretary, Ijoma Ekweme, Treasurer, Azubike Ogunbio, Provost 1, and Mr. Okoro Ebere, Provost 2. Speaking during the election, Surveyor Onyere, who expressed satisfaction with the turn-up of contestants and observers, said the election was conducted in line with Article 3, Section 3.4, Subsection B of the CDC Constitution. He admonished the people, particularly the winners, to run an all-inclusive government that will carry everyone along in the scheme of things.
The promise I gave to the community is that at the end of my tenure, I will conduct a free and fair and a credible election in a free atmosphere. And by the special grace of God, today is the day for the election, and the community was fully represented.
In his acceptance speech, the new chairman, Akabuka Community Development Committee, Chief Cheta Azuma, thanked the people for overwhelmingly voting for him, signifying acceptance, and pledged not to take the confidence reposed in him for granted. Chief Azuma, who is also a labor leader in Rivers State, said he will bring his wealth of experience to bear in the services of Akabuka community in particular and Agi in general, and enjoined everyone irrespective of background to join hands with him to move the community forward.
I also want to make it a promise that I will liaise with all segments of the community to ensure that development enters this community by the special grace of God.
In an interview, some observers have found that the election was free, fair and credible and enjoined the new leadership to lead with the fear of God.
We have never had an election that is so peaceful like this. The score was very visible. Everybody saw there was transparency. Especially I have to give my thanks to the CDC because of the way they handled the whole affair.
I'm a living witness. I was also an observer in this election. The election was conducted free and fair. Everyone should join force together to ensure that the support, they give him the maximum support to ensure that Akabuka is being liberated.
The new leadership of Akabuka Community Development Committee is for a 3-year tenure with effect from January next year. Ndung Ajie, Rstv News.
The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring safer learning environments for Nigerian students through continued support for the Safe School Initiative. Minister of State for Finance, Doris Uzoka Anite, made this known in Abuja during the 2025 International Students' Day celebration organized by the Office of the Special Assistant to the President on Student Engagement. Doris Uzoka Anite said government would continue to ensure funding for education, teacher salaries, school feeding programs, and safe learning environments through initiatives such as the Safe School Initiative. According to her, every great society is built on the brilliance, diligence, and imagination of these young people. Today, we proudly honor the best graduating students from our universities, polytechnics, colleges of education, and the Nigerian Law School. She said the awardees received scholarships, laptops, cash prizes, and other prominent tools, while exceptional secondary school students were each given 100,000 naira to encourage academic excellence. Minister of State for Works, Mohammed Goronyo, has expressed the federal government's desire to build an existing cordial relationship with the People's Republic of China in improving its road infrastructure and enhancing the capacity of Nigerian engineers to deal with modern challenges. Goronyo said this at a meeting with a high-powered delegation from CGGC Global PLC in his office in Abuja. In a statement signed by Director Press and Public Relations of the Ministry, Mohammed Ahmed, on Thursday said the minister underscored the ministry's commitment to strengthening Nigeria's road infrastructure through enhanced technical capacity, modern engineering, and global best practice solution. In response, the Vice President of CGGC, His Excellency Young Jun, who led the delegation, expressed the company's strong interest in contributing to Nigeria's infrastructure development, requested direct access to project opportunities though His Excellency expressed reservations about participating through the public-private partnership framework, which remains the officially approved and transparent process for government contract acquisition. The World Health Organization, WHO, says that it aims to vaccinate more than 40,000 children against various diseases in Gaza, as it takes advantage of the recent ceasefire. WHO and its partners already vaccinated over 10,000 children under the age of 3 in the first 8 days of an initial phase of the campaign launched on November 9. WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said phase 1 of the program has been extended until Saturday and hopes to protect children against measles, mumps, rubella, diphtheria, tetanus, whooping cough, hepatitis B, tuberculosis, polio, rotavirus, and pneumonia. According to the report, phases 2 and 3 of the campaign, which is being conducted in collaboration with UNICEF, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugee, UNRWA, and the Health Ministry in Gaza, under Hamas control are planned for December and January. Still on the foreign scene, U.S. Congressman Riley M. Moore has met with a senior Nigerian delegation led by National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu to discuss the alleged escalating persecution of Christians and the growing threat of terrorism in Nigeria. The discussion, described by Moore as frank, honest and productive, focused on counter-terrorism, security assistance, and protection of vulnerable communities across Nigeria. The Nigerian delegation included top officials such as Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Her Excellency Bianca Ojukwu, Inspector General of Police Kayode Igbetoku, Attorney General of the Federation Chief Lateef Olasunkami Fagbemi, Chief of Defense Staff SAN General Olufemi Olatubosun Oluyede, and Chief of Defense Intelligence Lieutenant General EAP Odiendeye, among others. In a statement, Moore said he had a frank, honest and productive discussion with senior members of the Nigerian government regarding the horrific violence and persecution Christians face and the ongoing threat terrorism poses across Nigeria. He emphasized the urgent need for concrete action, warning that religious violence cannot continue unchecked. Do you love and care about Rivers State and her peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task you and I must accomplish. Remember, you can always watch Rstv News Live on Facebook and YouTube at Rstv Online. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. And up ahead on the news, Guinea-Bissau braces for contentious presidential vote. South Africa court rules anti-migrant clinic blockades illegal. Details of these and more when we return this day.
Corruption not in my country.
It is well with you, my son.
Amen.
Remember the child of who you are. You will meet people who will tell you to take shortcuts. They will tell you everybody is doing it. They will tell you that you don't have 10 heads.
You will tell them that your head is cuckoo as big as 10 heads.
They will tell you that connection is the poor man's language for corruption. Connection, no. Corruption, no. Shall not in your country.
Not in your country.
You will tell them that the poor people are the ones who sent you there. That we are the real connection.
See, like Mama's hand, we connect to your face if you join bad gang.
Not true. We no go comot our eyes sake of say you be our pikin and let other people suffer for nothing. Be a good example.
Take whistle. Learn how to blow your whistle.
Do good. Bring it home. Oh yeah. Stand up. Good to go?
Good to go.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, with support from the MacArthur Foundation and with broadcast support from the Rivers State Television.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Rstv News at 3. And now to the rest of our reports. Director General of the Pan-African Organization for Small and Medium Industries, Dr. Henry Emejo, says cassava remains central to Africa's food security and industrial development. According to the report, Emejo, who spoke on the sidelines of the just concluded 3-day African Cassava Conference in Abuja, described the crop as both an economic commodity and a daily staple across the continent. He said cassava's versatility made it indispensable to households, noting that there was hardly any day a Nigerian or African home does not consume a cassava-based product such as gari or tapioca. Emejo added that the crop also holds a significant industrial value, producing materials such as ethanol, high-quality cassava flour, sorbitol, and healthy sweeteners used across manufacturing sectors. Now, tension and hope are rising in Guinea-Bissau as voters prepare for one of the most contentious presidential elections since the country's return to multi-party democracy. Queen Esther Akomas brings us more on these and other foreign stories to stay.
President Umaro Sissoco Embalo is seeking a second term in Sunday's vote, despite a turbulent mandate marked by political disputes and repeated allegations of attempted coups. If re-elected, Embalo would become the first sitting president to secure a second term in more than 50 years of independence. 12 candidates are running for president and 14 political groups, including one coalition, contesting legislative seats. An anti-migrant group called Operation Dudula is stopping foreigners from accessing public health clinics in South Africa. Its members block clinic entrances, demand local identity documents, and turn away people without them. The Johannesburg High Court have ruled the group's action unlawful, and South Africa's government says healthcare is available for all under the law. But Operation Dudula's popularity is rising in a country that has seen waves of sometimes deadly anti-migrant sentiment. Operation Dudula member Tolakele Nkwanyana was one of the first people to arrive at the Deslute public health clinic in Johannesburg, not to seek medical attention, but to stop foreigners from getting care. The Johannesburg High Court has ordered Operation Dudula to stop harassing migrants. South Africa boasts the continent's most developed economy and attracts migrants from neighboring Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Lesotho, as well as from as far as Nigeria and Ethiopia. Operation Dudula emerged a few years ago, and its visibility has grown as mostly young black South Africans take part. The US military says officials have arrived in Ukraine to discuss efforts to end the war with Russia. The team, led by Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, is expected to meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv. Neither Washington nor Moscow has officially confirmed the plan, drafted by President Donald Trump, Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Russian Special Envoy Kirill Dmitriev. However, Secretary of State Marco Rubio wrote on X that achieving a durable peace will require both sides to agree to difficult but necessary concessions. Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas warned on Thursday that for any plan to work, it would need to have Ukrainians and Europeans on board. And French Foreign Minister Jean-Noel Barrot said the Ukrainians do not want any form of capitulation. Queen Esther Akomas, Rstv Foreign News.
And on the entertainment news, the prominent gospel singer Nathaniel Bassey and Pastor Jerry Eze have called for urgent action against rising insecurity in Nigeria, urging the government and security agencies to tackle terrorism, banditry, and kidnappings. Precious Devon has more.
In a statement on social media, Pastor Eze prayed against perpetrators and their sponsors, saying God of judgment will spare no enemy of Nigeria and their sponsors in Jesus' name. Enough is enough of this banditry, terrorism, and wickedness. Nathaniel Bassey also expressed concern over the nation's security situation, stressing the need for accountability and decisive action. He urged the government, armed forces, intelligence agencies, and citizens to unite in confronting criminals. The call from the religious leader followed recent violence incidents across the country, including the attack on a Christ Apostolic Church parish in Erugu, Kwara State, where suspected bandits killed at least 2 people, and the adoption of 25 students from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School Maga in Kebbi State, during which a staff member was killed. The attack have drawn widespread condemnation, with other prominent figures in the entertainment industry, including actors and comedians, also urging the government to take immediate steps to address insecurity.
He has done it for me. He has done it for me. Is that your
Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Damini Ogulu, popularly known as Burna Boy, has revealed that he is embroiled in secret battles. The singer disclosed this while reacting to the uproar over his recent remarks about his fans. Burna Boy sparked uproar after boasting that he didn't beg anyone to be his fan, adding that he only wants rich fans. Reacting to the backlash via his Instagram story, the Last Krona claimed that his comment was a joke, which was misinterpreted. He emphasized that he was fighting personal battles despite not seeking public sympathy or assistance and begged to be left alone. Some Nigerian artists have been under intense criticism this week, with fans accusing Burna Boy of being arrogant and ungrateful after he jokingly stated that he wanted only rich fans. Yemi Alade also came under fire after she protested against suggestions of an American intervention in the escalating insecurity in Nigeria. Reacting to the bandwagon of criticism against Nigerian artists, Nicki Minaj pleaded with fans to utilize wisdom and compassion in their criticisms. She argued that critics would see things differently if they assess artists from a place of comprehension rather than judgment. Precious Devon, Rstv Entertainment News.
In our sports, Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie stood tall for the third straight year on the CAF Awards podium, winning the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year award at the 2025 ceremony in Rabat, Morocco. Davidson Ivrobo tells us more.
Her compatriot and Super Falcons captain, Rasheedat Ajibade, was only close to winning her first Women Player of the Year award, but she was beaten to the honor by Morocco's Ghislaine Shibak. Morocco's defender, Achraf Hakimi, also won the prestigious Men Player of the Year award, ahead of Super Eagles striker and 2023 winner, Victor Osimhen, as well as 2018 winner, Mohamed Salah. Hakimi's win ended Nigeria's back-to-back triumph with Osimhen 2023 and Ademola Lookman 2024. Hosted in Morocco for the third straight year, the North Africans won the first two awards of the players, Doha El Madani and under-20 World Cup winner Otame Mama claimed the Women's and Men's Young Player of the Year award. Madani was voted ahead of Nigeria's Shakira Mushood, who captained the Flamingos to the second round of the Under-17 World Cup in Morocco. For the third time in a row, the Super Falcons were crowned the Women's National Team of the Year. Nigeria has risen 3 places to the 38th in the latest FIFA World Ranking, following a month in which the Super Eagles played 2 competitive fixtures. The ranking updates, which cover 149 national team outings worldwide since the previous release, reflect Nigeria's 4-1 victory over Gabon and the 1-1 draw with the Democratic Republic of Congo that ended in a 4-3 penalty defeat in the Africans playoff. Despite the heartbreak of missing out on the 2026 World Cup, those results were significant to nudge the Super Eagles up the table. Nigeria's new point total stands at 1,502.46, and that placed the country on the 5th among Africa's nations behind Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, and Algeria. Morocco remained Africa's top side in the world ranking on 1,713.12. Senegal sits 19 with 1,648.07. Egypt are 34th on 1,520.68, and Algeria occupied 35th on 1,516.37. Former Super Eagles goalkeeper Ike Shorum has urged the Nigeria Football Federation to begin early planning for the 2025 African Cup of Nations after the national team's failure to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Shorum urged the NFF to take decisive steps to strengthen the national team structure and rebuild confidence. The Super Eagles now turn their attention to AFCON 2025 with all their group matches scheduled to take place at the FEZ Stadium. Nigeria will begin their campaign against Tanzania on December 23rd, followed by a meeting with Tunisia on December 27th and Uganda on December 30th. Davison Ivrogbo, Rstv Sport News.
Now, do you love and care about River State and her peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater heights. It is a task beyond I must accomplish. Always remember, you can watch Rstv News live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can also subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. And that's the size of our package this afternoon on the News on 3. My name is Emily Tari Mberu. Good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day on RSTV.